With that being said, at this particular time, we're about 20 minutes before we start the regular meeting, so I'd like to move forward with presentations for those that are here to accept those presentations brought forth by the legislature. If we could, we have speak on present Resolution P16618, resolution honoring Rensselaer County veteran Mark William Folgert. Representation Mark Folgert by Wazowski and Pateri. Wazowski and Pateri.
Anybody else can go?
Sure. Okay.
Ask your forgiveness for my voice. My hay fever's kicking butt.
Tis that time.
Resolution honoring Mark William Folgert from Hoosick Falls, longtime friend. I remember him walking with a basketball, shorts, socks up to your knees, challenging everybody to a game of hoops for many years. Very good athlete. Whereas it is consistent with the duty of this legislative body to recognize achievements of the citizens of Rensselaer County, we acknowledge with respect and admiration individuals whose bravery and dedication have been so valuable to our community. And whereas Rensselaer County owes a great debt to the men and women of our loyal armed forces who so bravely stand ready to preserve our American heritage. And whereas Mark William Folgert was born on January 28, 1956, to the late William Simon Folgert and Anne Marie Folgert Sullivan. And whereas Mark enlisted in the United States Air Force in August of 1975, where he served as part of the Security Police Force, seeking active duty for 4 years in missile fields in Wyoming, weapons storage in Turkey, Alert Aircraft, New Hampshire. And whereas he finished his tour of duty as an E-4 sergeant and was honorably discharged in August of 1979. He didn't have enough, right? He didn't have enough. He enlisted in the United States Army on November 28th of 1989 as a multi-channel communications specialist. And while serving in the Army, Mark was assigned to CENTAG, 97th Signal Battalion, NATO, and was deployed on numerous NATO training exercises. Mark was honorably discharged on February 11th, 1992, finishing his tour of duty as an E-4 specialist. And whereas Mark served as part of the Mohawk Army and Navy from April 2016 to August 2017, where he managed a military surplus program. And whereas Mark was part of a joint task force, Ontario and Maria Response, serving the Department of Military and Naval Affairs headquarters for New York State. Whereas on February 7th, 2015, he listed again, this time with the New York Guard, serving as a, was that Spec 4? S4? Spec 4? For the 10th Area Command Headquarters. He is currently still serving at the rank of Warrant Officer, is that first class? One? Just one? Okay, I'm sorry, I just don't know the terminology too well. No problem. Okay. Mark was employed with Verizon Communications, where he was a fiber optic system analyst, copper telephone plant field technician. After 18 years of service there, Mark retired in February 2016. Mark is the husband of Carol Ann Folgert and a stepfather of Brendan and Justin Levy. And whereas for his service, Mark received many awards and medals from the United States Air Force, United States Army, New York State Military, New York Guard, Vermont State Military, State Guard Association of the United States. Mark is a member of the U.S. Army Signal Corps. and from 2001 to 2003. He served as a volunteer football coach for Hoosick Falls Central School, where they were recognized as New York State Public Athletic Association Class C state football champions. The legislative body does hereby acknowledge the sacrifices that these great men and their families have made and continue to make for the ideals for which the nation stands, fully confident that his achievements and contributions will live on to serve as a legacy for all. Mark, it sounds like you never wanted to be home. Thank you very much. I'm proud to be your friend. Thank you.
Thank you.
Truly appreciate
And here's a framed copy of that, Mark, for you and Carol.
Thank you very much, Jeff. Truly appreciate it.
Appreciate you guys taking.
Could you tell them that you're still on 24-hour call for emergencies and things, right? You got to tell them what you
Well-
do. It's amazing what you do.
Currently, I am still involved with the New York Guard, which is a total volunteer military. We're called to state active duty when Governor and the TAG, the Adjutant General for the New York State Military Forces, declares a state of emergency. We just had one up in Cambridge over the weekend with the microburst, where the tree damage and road blockage. I wasn't called to that. I have been called over to DMNA headquarters numerous times, and I am on a 24-hour notification to be activated for state active duty anywhere in the state of New York. So only because of my wife's support am I able to do that, and having recognition from folks like yourselves makes it even more wonderful to do, and I appreciate everything you've done. Thank you. Good to see you too. Thank you.
Thank you again, Mr. Folgert, and special thanks to you, Mrs. Folgert. Very good. Thank you again. Okay, next we're going to go to P16918, a resolution commending the Young Women Christians Association of Greater Capital Region upon the occasion of its 100th anniversary. Representatives, Young Women Christian Association by Grimm, Manny, Burns, Dornan, Fleming, Sullivan, Testa.
Yeah, we'll request that.
Yeah, we could have done that, yeah. That's okay, we'll do it.
But go see if they'll engross those copies for them quick.
Yeah,
so
they
that-
don't have ones.
Why, this looks like a
Yeah.
colorful group,
Yes.
huh? And looking good.
So
Come on
we're
down, ladies.
welcoming Dakota Jones, the Executive Director of the YWCA here in Troy, and I know a board member, and another board member, and a staff member. Mark Fleming and I had the pleasure of being at the press release this morning and the ribbon cutting, and it was really an awesome event. And before I read the resolution, I would like to read the mission statement that you had us all read this morning. The YWCA of the Greater Capital Region is dedicated to eliminating racism, empowering women, promoting peace, justice, freedom, and dignity for all. And that received quite a yahoo, if I recall. So we have a resolution here. Whereas, consistent with the duty of this legislative body to acknowledge those individuals and institutions who have contributed to the vitality of Rensselaer County, we recognize with profound respect and admiration an important milestone in the history of the community. And whereas attendant to such duty and fully in accord with its long-standing traditions, it is the intent of this legislative body to convey its compliments and felicitations to the Young Women's Christian Association, YWCA, of the Greater Capital Region, on the occasion of its 100th anniversary at its current location. And whereas in 1883, the Troy Young Women's Association was founded to help women in times of crisis, offering safe and affordable housing, victim advocacy, mental health referrals, help with addiction, financial literacy, job training, and career counseling, as well as case management. Some women's their stay is transitional and temporary. Some women come with children, but each and every person receives a variety of supportive services with the goal of becoming self-sufficient. And whereas in 1907, at the YWA's 25th anniversary, the annual report notes the following, and I quote, "Those who inspired and commenced this work in a room off the Keenan Building a quarter-century ago did not conceive of this home, its library, its restaurant. We greatly desire to become an educational center for women behind the machine and the women in the home who will have a large part in the molding of our future citizenship. In imagination, we see rooms of enlarged classwork in keeping with modern demands and methods, a gymnasium for the physical development of growing girls and future mothers. We want the women of Troy to feel that this is women's work for women." End of quote. And in 1915, the Troy YWA joined the national YWCA, and whereas on April 28, 1917, the cornerstone was laid for the new YWCA at 21 First Street in historic downtown Troy. And I think Dakota will probably tell us a little bit about the history behind that beautiful building. Whereas on May 9th, 1918, the building was dedicated and still fulfills its mission to eliminate racism, empower women, and promote peace, justice, and dignity for all. Now, therefore, be it resolved that this legislative body pause in its deliberations and commends the YWCA of the Greater Capital Region upon the occasion of their 100th anniversary at 21 First Street. And be it further resolved that the clerk of the legislature is hereby directed to transmit a copy of this resolution suitably engrossed to the YWCA of the Greater Capital Region. So congratulations to all of you. And I know that you'll have a few words to say. So I'm going to give you Dakota, because she's going to share some of her thoughts that we heard today.
All right. Well, first, I would like to thank the Rensselaer County Legislative Body for selecting YWCA for this honor, this resolution. I'm Dakota Jones, the Executive Director with YWCA of the Greater Capital Region. I've had the honor, the privilege, and I'm extremely humbled to be the Executive Director for over the last 4.5 years, and I thank my board, my staff, as well as those that we serve. Since 1883, we have served women in the city of Troy and the Greater Capital Region areas. Today, we're one of the area's largest providers of supportive housing to both single women and women with children that would otherwise be homeless or living in substandard housing. In addition to our economic empowerment program, homeless prevention, food security, and other supportive services, every single day we house 104 women and over 50 children. 94 of those women and 20 of those children live at our 21 First Street location. The cornerstone was actually laid in April of 1916, and I like to pay homage to Amanda Cluett, who's frequently referred to as Mrs. George Cluett, as well as her husband, George Cluett, her brother-in-law, Robert Cluett, as well as Frederick F. Peabody, that were the owners of the Cluett Peabody & Co. This building was built for YWCA and deeded to us for $1. So we have a commitment that over the next 100 years, we want to still be standing and standing strong. We want to also acknowledge those intensely strong shoulders that we stand on, as well as all the individuals that support us and that's standing side by side. So I thank you so much for this resolution, for this honor, and for your time. Thank you.
I was remiss, I didn't ask if any of the other legislators would like to say a word. Mark?
Yes, after hearing DeQuetta, I really wanted to say a story, I guess, from my personal experience concerning the mission of the YWCA in Troy. And when I moved into my house that I live in now about 45 years ago, and I still live in the same house, our backyards backed up to a woman from Germany. Her name was Helen Schneider. Anyway, got to know her, of course, over all this time. She died in 2006. She was born in 2010. She told a story of she came from Germany with her parents. They bought a home in a farm in just over the border in Vermont, and they bought a team of horses that were bad horses, and because of that, that's what they planned on using for their agricultural endeavors, and they were in really dirt poor. So the daughter had to move to Troy at about 16 years old, and she was going to take up a career in hairdressing or something. But anyway, she lived in the YWCA, and they were able to help her out. She was able to get on her feet, and she lived there for a couple of years, and eventually meet her husband and live a fulfilling, beautiful life, really. But my point is, that was in approximately 1925, maybe 26, something like that. The YWCA is on the same mission now. The problems may be a little different than a bad team of horses that these women encounter, or their families encounter, or are presented to them. Life comes at you. But the mission of the YWCA is exactly the same, and I commend DeQuetta and the whole staff for continuing this. As she said, it's big shoulders. Thanks.
Thank you so much. Thank you.
Trying to get eye contact. Send it down and get your friend.
Thank you, ladies, very much, and we all look forward to the next 100 years. Okay. Kenny will still be here, yeah. Okay. Has the Lilly family arrived? Yes, okay. Oh, very good. Okay. Next, we have Resolution P 16818, resolution commending Kay's Pizza upon the occasion of their 60th anniversary. Resolution by Madette, Ashby, and Loveridge. Please come down. There's not very many people, I think, in this room that haven't been to Kay's, I can tell you that.
And if you haven't, you should.
I always feel like a drunken sailor years ago when I go through there on that floor.
As the chairman said, everybody knows about Kay's Pizza, but what you might not know is that this is their 60th anniversary. So this is a resolution commending Kay's Pizza upon the occasion of their 60th anniversary. Whereas a community is only as great as its members who provide exemplary leadership and service, and who through personal and professional dedication contribute to the fabric and climate of Rensselaer County. Whereas attendant to such duty and fully in accord with its long-standing traditions, it is the intent of this legislative body to convey its compliments to Kay's Pizza on Burden Lake in Averill Park, New York. Whereas Kay and Vic Campana purchased Kay's property from the D'Agostino family and ran Kay's as a seasonal business with focus on family, friends, and of course, great pizza, spending their summers living in the apartment upstairs. And whereas in 1974, Kay and Vic turned the operations over to Charlie and Hazel Wagner, who kept the Kay's name, traditions, and recipes as they continued to grow the business. And whereas in 1992, Charlie and Hazel sold the business to their son and his wife, Bob and Sue Wagner, who also continued the tradition and the recipes of Kay's, but made modest improvements over the years as the business grew. And then, in 2012, Kay's was again sold to a father and son team, Tom and James Lilly and their wife/mother, Bonnie. And whereas this year Kay's enters its 60th season of continuous operation, as a seasonal restaurant with the original traditions and recipes which still draw generations of families every summer. I want to say I've been going to Kay's for a long time. I live in Averill Park and I live near the Lilies also. And ever since they took it over, they made a great thing even better. And that's one of the reasons why I'm really proud to be able to be part of honoring you guys and the resolution. I've witnessed so much improvement at the restaurant, and it's so exciting, and it's just great now as my kids have grown up and now go there by themselves and with their friends and girlfriends, etc. And I'm just proud that you're from our community. So would anybody else like to say anything? Want to say something?
I just want to say that you clearly have impacted the quality of life of the people of the community, and we really appreciate it.
Thank you very much.
And you know I go there as often as I can.
I've seen you there once or twice.
Yes, you are.
And it's not just the pizza that's great. So here's this resolution. Maybe a plane for you so you can put it in the restaurant. Thanks very much. So I'll give you one also, okay? Thank you. All right, you go.
Thank you very much. I'd like to just, for a moment, we're humbled and thank the county legislator for this, and especially following the previous two groups, the military and the YMCA, for us to be included amongst some esteemed people as that. We bought this business, we thought we were buying a business, and we bought a tradition, and trying our best to keep up the tradition, and thank you very much for your support and your commendation. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much. Just a lot, county landmark, no matter who owns it. You do a good job of keeping control of the church. Thank you very much. As a county, you're one vice and secretary. We're honored. Thank you. On P-172?
And then we need to do the roll call again because to have our...
Okay. Well, we got to do a regular resolution.
Right.
Okay, thank you. That does it for presentations for this evening as well. You know, it's always great that the legislators of their particular districts find these remarkable people throughout the county and able to bring them in to show that we really appreciate what they do for us on a day-to-day basis. Such a great thing. Right now, we have some public speakers that want to speak. On P-172-18, Kathy Coons. And a few other people with her, I guess. I'm sure Kathy will introduce them for us. Welcome, ladies. Commissioner, always a pleasure.
Good evening. Thank you for your, again, your acknowledgement of May as Mental Health Month, that this is a national recognition month set aside to recognize the importance of mental health for children, youth, and adults. And currently, we are in Children's Mental Health Week, which is recognized also nationally. And I would like to just share a couple of pieces of information with you regarding the children's mental health services that the county operates here. So at the south end of this hallway is the Children's Outpatient Clinic, where we have 13 licensed therapists, a child psychiatrist, a general psychiatrist, and 2 psychiatric nurse practitioners providing mental health treatment for children and youth in this county. In 2017, the clinic operations served 1,624 children and youth from Rensselaer County. We have satellite clinic operations throughout the county. We have a clinic at Rensselaer Park Elementary School, Algonquin Middle School, Troy Middle School and School 2, Hoosick Falls Central Schools, and we're also embedded with Capital Care Pediatrics here in Troy. And we're currently working on a collaboration we're going to be developing with Seton Pediatrics. We have behavioral health consultation contracts with Averill Park Schools, Troy City Schools for School 2, and Head Start programs throughout the county. So we're really trying to reach the rural parts of the county through embedding in the school districts and doing more outreach to those communities. So each year, the legislature is kind enough to acknowledge the importance of mental health and emotional wellness for our community. And each year, I bring to you speakers who can share with you some of what's going on with the services in the county. First, I'm going to introduce to you Brandy Parker, who is the Family Support Services Manager with the Commission of Economic Opportunity. Brandy oversees the traditional family support services, which are our parent advocates in the county that serve children and families. And she oversees the parent advocates and youth advocates who are now embedded in our outpatient clinic in a special program that is funded through SAMHSA dollars, that's federal monies, coming into New York State. We're a pilot county for launching what's called high fidelity RAP services. Brandy has worked for several years in the human services field. She has supported adolescents who are experiencing mental illness and their families. She worked in residential setting and created therapeutic and trauma-informed environments. She is also the parent of a child with a mental health diagnosis and has acted as an advocate across systems to support his needs. Brandy also, in her role, supports the Wits End Family Support Group that we have available to families in the county. And while Brandy is speaking, I'm going to pass out to all of you pins for mental health awareness. I'm wearing one here. And green is the color, hence my green blouse tonight. And we want to encourage all of you to wear the pin this month in support of mental health. Thank you. Randy.
Hello. CEO Family Support Services holds a campaign yearly to support Children's Mental Health Week. This year we chose the theme Feeling Through Color, and some of the activities included creating mood bracelets. So some of the teachers actually created bracelets with the students and discussed the different feelings and emotions behind colors. We also had something called the Skittles game, where they took each color of the Skittles, they love that, and identified their feelings through the candy. And then yesterday we had our kickoff at our Wits End support group, Painting Our Feelings in an Ice Cream Social. Our Wits End support group allows families to gather and support one another, and they can either participate in a specific topic or activity, or just have a meal and engage with each other so they don't feel alone, because it's just, being a parent is hard in general, but having a kid that has a mental health need can be quite daunting. So it allows them an opportunity to kind of get together, share stories, learn some new things, and try to understand like the system and help navigate the system to get their kids' needs met. As a parent who raised a child with a social, emotional, behavioral concern, I truly appreciate being part of a program that gives parents the outlet to be able to share their stories and commune together. We're fortunate to have childcare staff that comes in to support the children during our Wits End support group. So the kids actually are in a separate area doing activities, and it also gives the parents kind of a little bit of a break, so they just have some time to themselves. I feel in order to be a great caregiver, we must also be supported to be able to take care of the children. And coming from a child welfare background, it's been quite an experience to be part of a movement where not only the service in Rensselaer County is dedicated to the children, but also dedicated to supporting the parents. As a professional, as a parent, I am grateful to the county for their continued support in the form of funding the grant that has allowed Family Support Services program to flourish and provide the advocacy and support to the families of Rensselaer County. So thank you very much.
Thank you.
Next, I'd like to introduce to you Amanda Davidson. Amanda is a youth advocate, and she is with Youth Power, which is a statewide organization representing youth and young adults who experience mental health issues. And Amanda, we are very fortunate to have Amanda working with youth in our own county. She brings them together. They have a bit of a support group, and they're called VOYA, Voices of Youth Advisors. And so Amanda will share some of that information with you.
Hi. All right. Let's do this. So like Kathy said, my name is Amanda Davidson, and I run a youth advisory council, Voices of Youth Advisors. Ages 14 to 28, we come together right in actually the third floor conference room every other Monday, 5 to 7 p.m., and we always have light refreshments and things like that. So the youth, it's kind of engaging and interactive and things like that, but mostly we come together and we explore issues and topics that are important to us. We learn how to identify healthy habits, skills, and connections throughout the county. So basically, we empower young people to be the active citizens in their county, to be aware of the government operations, and we encourage them to speak up and speak out about the experiences that they've had in the cross-system services. So that includes their ability and their rights to use their voice to influence the policy, the regulation, and the laws. And that was Youth Power. Now, VOYA, they bring very similar to Youth Power. They bring their issues and their concerns and their experiences directly to the county for the perspective of youth voice. And I cannot express the importance of the services that are provided through Rensselaer County for our youth, because I always think of our youth. I mean, even though I just turned 20 on April 21st, so I'm still a part of that generation, but I still think of our youth as our new world leaders. So something that I always say is that these are our new world leaders, and we must ensure that they are taken care of and that their voices are heard through the services that are provided to them, and that is what Voya does. And I do, these are new leaders of the world, and some of the situations that youth go through, whether it's at home or at school or at the store, on the bus, or even, unfortunately, hanging out with friends, it can leave them feeling hopeless, alone, and in need of someone, just to step in and give them that little extra step to get up on their feet and to be okay, and to be young, empowered, active citizens of the community. And these services allow the youth to provide services of who they are and who they can be and who they can help, and that they can get through their education strong, and that they can get through these issues strong. It can allow them to give the chance to recognize, to help others, and also sometimes even their parents, even if it's just a question of, are you okay? What can I do? So on the behalf of Voya, I do want to say that we have happily been watching the services unfold rather quickly. And I can say that the members that I have, we have 8 members of Voya, we are able to provide positive feedback from the hard work on all the individuals in the legislature and in all the working groups and the councils and the committees. We are seeing a difference, and it is very amazing, and I appreciate the time and all the hard work that goes into that, and even from our members as well. They come together every other Monday, and they put their heads down and they work hard. And of course it's a lifetime project, and there's always things that need improvement, but this is amazing what we're seeing. And Voya and Youth Power, we are driving the word that there is nothing about us without us. And so I just want to say thank you for your time, and I'm really happy to be here. Thank you.
Thank you, Amanda. And I also want to make mention that we have on May 22nd, Thursday morning, we will be having a Safe Talk class. St. John's Church in Troy has donated the space. Safe Talk is a suicide prevention training, and I would encourage you to get the word out. It's open to any member of the community. The goal of the Rensselaer County Suicide Prevention Task Force is 0 suicides. And I did receive some information recently from Mary Fran Wachunas letting me know that sadly we've had 8 completed suicides through March 10th in 2018. So we think it's imperative to get training out into the community to help people to be able to support one another in situations, and also to equip people in knowing where to go for help. So please, we're really trying to get the word out about that, and hope that you would consider attending yourselves. So thank you very much.
I would like to just take this opportunity, Kathy, to thank you, your staff, and the programs that you bring forth. I firsthand know of numerous people that I've had contact with, being involved in youth for as long as I have, who've benefited from the programs and the people I get a chance to talk with, both at the youngest children who don't understand why things are the way they are, and they need to be able to express themselves and don't know how to open up, when they have parents tell them just grow up and forget about it, and those things they're definitely a problem. And the teenagers as well, who have to grow up too quick, try to become part of a society that most of us don't want anything to do with, and they believe they have to be part of that society to either cope with their problems or else exit this world because they can't cope with them. And you provide that education, that feeling, a place for them to go. And I really support what you do, because I've seen it change some youth's lives around. And I know from a personal experience myself as a young person, I wish I had a place to go and talk to in order to take out some of my frustrations when I was a young man, when I didn't know why things were the way they were. and you provided an avenue for that to happen for so many youth in the city. And keep up the good work, and I think we need to do our due diligence, get the word out, have people support what you're doing, come to those meetings, and bring people with them as well. So thank you for all you do. I'm sorry I kind of went off on a tariff there, but thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
I also see in the gallery we have representatives here from the Mental Health Empowerment Project. Did one of you want to speak? Or? Okay, I thought maybe.
Good evening, everyone. Thank you. I apologize for the late arrival. I'd like to thank the legislature for allowing me the opportunity to speak tonight, as well as the commissioner for recognizing that May is in fact Mental Health Awareness Month. My name is Allie. I'm 36 years old, and I never thought that I would live this long. I was raised in an environment that exposed me to many different levels of childhood trauma. As a result, I began to hear voices around the age of 8. By the age of 12, I had been experiencing mood swings for years. However, by this time, they had started to increase in duration and intensity. I would go days without sleep, only to crash, left feeling as though I would never be rested enough to function like the rest of my friends. Because of all of those factors, I became obsessed with death and dying, feeling it was my only option to settle the battle going on in my mind and in my body. In January of 1996, I made my first suicide attempt. That was also my first psychiatric hospitalization, one of 37 to follow. This cycle of suicide attempt, hospitalization went on for well over a decade. 30, 60, 90 days of inpatient meant nothing. It wasn't until 2006 when a new psychiatrist explained to me that he had experienced not just in traditional but complementary methods, and that there were many methods, many paths to wellness that did not include the hospital. I went home that day and began researching the different options we had discussed and beyond. This brought about a sense of hope in me I never thought I would experience again. That research, as well as advice from peers in the community, brought me to the Mental Health Empowerment Project to attend their free peer support training. Soon after I began the training, I became part of the Hearing Voices support group offered at the Empowerment Exchange. This group is part of a broader international and national framework known as the Hearing Voices Network. However, the resource that I've found to be the most beneficial for my personal mental health have been the Alternatives to Suicide peer support groups, also offered at the Empowerment Exchange. These groups provide a non-clinical space for people to come together and discuss the feelings of deep despair and thoughts of suicide without the risk of crisis being called, involuntary psychiatric hospitalization, or other liberties being taken away. Without the language of clinical diagnoses, safety assessments, and being told that what we felt was wrong or that we were sick, we found a sense of normalcy, at least I did in that room, hearing other people speak about how they felt, and it was so similar to how I was feeling. Every day, the people that I meet hear voices, they deal with thoughts of suicide, and yet they get up every single day and try as hard as they can, just like the rest of us. Because of the Empowerment Exchange, I was able to take advantage of opportunities not based on my resume, but based on my lived experience. I am now a New York certified peer support specialist, and I am a disabilities advocate. This journey of discovery and experiencing peer support firsthand has been so instrumental in my recovery, which is why I come to you as a county, as a person, asking for any resources that you have available to offer to us for peer support so that we, not just as the city of Troy, but as a county, can be something incredible for so many people of all ages. So thank you very much.
Continuing with your success. I know you're very good. Thanks. Okay, we have no more speakers signed up, and we have no more presentations. So at this point, I'd like to ask bring the legislature to order and ask the county clerk to call the roll.
Mr. Ashby.
Here.
Mr. Bailey.
Here.
Mr. Bendet.
Here.
Mr. Burns.
Here.
Mr. Casal.
Here.
Ms. Doran. Mr. Fiacco. Mr. Fleming.
Here.
Mr. Grant.
Present.
Mr. Grimm.
Here.
Mr. Harrington.
Present.
Ms. Hoffman.
Here.
Mr. Loveridge.
Here.
Mr. Manning.
Here.
Mr. Patieri.
Here.
Mr. Chessman. Ms. Sullivan Tita.
Here.
Mr. Wysocki.
Here.
Chairman Stammel.
Here.
There's 17 present and 2 absent.
Invocation, Legislator Grant.
Grant, Almighty God, that all who confess your name may be united in your truth, live together in your love, and reveal your glory in the world. Amen.
Amen. Pledge allegiance to Legislator Mr. Grimm.
Pledge allegiance
To the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you, Mr. Grimm. A motion for Mr. Herring.
Mr. Chairman, I move that we dispense with the reading of the minutes of the regular meeting of April 10th, 2018, and approve the minutes as printed.
I'll second.
Seconded. So moved. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Okay. Okay, presentations and petitions.
On file?
Presentation and communications.
On file?
Reports and commissions.
On file?
Department reports.
On file?
Reports of standing committees.
On file?
Local laws.
There are none tonight.
Index of resolutions. First resolution, P-220-18, resolution honoring Rensselaer County veteran Richard L. Butterfield.
P-220-18, resolution honoring Rensselaer County veteran Richard L. Butterfield, introduced by legislators Bendet, Ashby, Loveridge, and the entire legislative body.
All in favor? Aye. Opposed?
17 ayes.
P-221-18, resolution recognizing the city of Rensselaer, town of East Greenbush, Clinton Heights, and the Freesville Fire Department for their heroic efforts.
P-221-18, resolution recognizing the city of Rensselaer, town of East Greenbush, Clinton Heights, and DeFreeseville Fire Departments upon their heroic efforts, introduced by legislators Stammel and the entire legislative body.
All in favor? Aye. Opposed?
17 ayes.
Resolution 222, resolution commending Lexi Hogue upon the occasion of being crowned 2018-19 Rensselaer County Dairy Princess.
P-228-18, resolution commending Lexi Hogue upon the occasion of being crowned 2018-2019 Rensselaer County Dairy Princess, introduced by legislators Harrington, Wysocki, and the entire legislative body.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed?
17 ayes.
P-223-18.
P-223-18, resolution recognizing June 2018 as National Dairy Month, introduced by legislators Harrington, Wysocki, and the entire legislative body.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed?
17 ayes.
P-224-18, resolution recognize, oh, sorry, go right ahead.
P-224-18, resolution recognizing Matthew Ashley as Rensselaer County Legislature's May 2018 Young Outstanding Leader of the Month, introduced by legislators Burns, Grimm, Manning, Doran, Fleming, Sullivan, Tita, and the entire legislative body.
All in favor? Opposed?
17 ayes.
P-225-18.
P-225-18, resolution commending Hope 7 Community Center upon the occasion of its 50th anniversary, introduced by legislators Grimm, Manning, Burns, Doran, Fleming, Sullivan, Tita, and the entire legislative body.
All in favor? Opposed?
17 ayes.
Resolution P-26-18.
P-226-18, resolution recognizing May 2018 as National Military Appreciation Month, introduced by legislators Ashby, Tessman, Harrington, and the entire legislative body.
All in favor? Opposed?
17 ayes.
P-237-18.
P-227-18, resolution recognizing May 25th, 2018 as National Poppy Day, introduced by legislators Stammel and the entire legislative body.
All in favor? Opposed?
17 ayes.
Resolution P-28-18.
P-228-18, resolution recognizing June 2018 as Post-Traumatic Stress Disorder Awareness Month, introduced by legislators Ashby, Tessman, Harrington, and the entire legislative body.
All in favor? Opposed?
17 ayes.
Resolution 229-18.
P-229-18, resolution recognizing May 8th through the 13th, 2018 as Economic Development Week in Rensselaer County, introduced by legislators Bailey, Bendet, and the entire legislative body.
All in favor? Opposed?
17 ayes.
Resolution P-230-18.
P-230-18, resolution recognizing June 3rd, 2018 as National Trails Day, introduced by legislators Fiacco, Ashby, and the entire legislative body.
All in favor? Opposed?
17 ayes.
P-231-18.
P-231-18, resolution appointing representatives to the Region 4 Fish and Wildlife Management Board, introduced by legislators Fiacco, Ashby, and Doran.
All in favor? Opposed?
17 ayes.
P-232-18.
P-232-18, resolution appointing members to the Rensselaer County Emergency Radio Communications Committee, introduced by legislators Tessman, Grant, and Manning.
All in favor? Opposed?
17 ayes.
Resolution G-233-18.
G-233-18, resolution authorizing the purchase of ballot and test deck paper for voting machines used by the Board of Elections, introduced by legislators Leverage, Stammel, and Grimm.
All in favor? Opposed?
17 ayes.
G-234-18.
G-234-18, resolution providing the distribution of mortgage tax, introduced by legislators Leverage, Stammel, and Grimm.
All in favor? Opposed?
17 ayes.
G-235-18.
G-235-18, resolution amending G-310-14, establishing standard workday and reporting for Rensselaer County, introduced by legislators Leverage, Stammel, and Grimm.
All in favor? Opposed?
17 ayes.
G-236-18.
G-236-18, resolution requesting the New York State Department of Transportation to release maintenance jurisdiction over a parcel along Troy Road Avenue, New York State Route 4, and authorizing its transfer thereafter, Highway Department, introduced by legislators Leverage, Stammel, and Grimm.
All in favor? Opposed?
17 ayes.
G-237-18.
G-237-18 was withdrawn by sponsor and special rules.
G-238-18.
G-238-18, resolution authorizing maintenance contract for emergency generators, Bureau of Public Safety, introduced by legislators Tessman, Grant, and Manning.
All in favor? Opposed?
17 ayes.
G-239-18.
G-239-18, resolution authorizing a maintenance contract for the emergency communications tower sites, HVAC equipment, Bureau of Public Safety, introduced by legislators Tessman, Grant, and Manning.
All in favor? Opposed?
17 ayes.
G-240-18.
G-240-18, resolution authorizing an extension of a term of a grant agreement with the New York State Office of Indigent Legal Services, Public Defender, Conflict Defender, and County Attorney, introduced by legislators Tessman, Grant, and Manning.
All in favor? Opposed?
17 ayes.
G-241-18.
G-241-18, resolution authorizing payment of claim to Timothy Nugent Esquire as court-appointed Special District Attorney, County Attorney, introduced by legislators Tessman, Grant, and Manning.
All in favor? Opposed?
17 ayes.
G-242-18.
G-242-18, resolution authorizing a contract for the USDA State Education Summer Food Programs, Unified Family Services, Youth Services, introduced by legislators Ashby, Tessman, and Burns.
All in favor? Opposed?
17 ayes.
G-243-18.
G-243-18, resolution authorizing purchase of a vehicle, stop DWI, introduced by legislators Tessman, Grant, and Manning.
All in favor? Opposed?
17 ayes.
G 24418.
G 24418, resolution amending the 2017 and 2018 Rensselaer County adopted budgets, public defender, conflict defender, and county attorney, introduced by legislators Testman, Grant, and Manning.
All in favor? Opposed?
17 ayes.
G 24518.
G 24518, resolution authorizing and directing the Rensselaer County Chief Fiscal Officer to correct the 2018 tax roll for the Town of Hoosick Bureau of Tax Services, introduced by legislators Leverage, Stammel, and Grimm.
All in favor? Opposed?
17 ayes.
G 24618.
G 24618, resolution authorizing the Van Rensselaer Manor to utilize consortium contracts Van Rensselaer Manor, introduced by legislators Grant, Testman, Sullivan, Tita.
All in favor? Opposed?
17 ayes.
G 24818.
G 24718, resolution authorizing the purchase of Fire Stop product Van Rensselaer Manor, introduced by legislators Grant, Testman, Sullivan, Tita.
Good. All in favor? Opposed?
17 ayes.
We'll try 248 this time.
G 24818, resolution authorizing an agreement for heating, ventilation, air conditioning, and refrigeration preventative maintenance Van Rensselaer Manor, introduced by legislators Grant, Testman, Sullivan, Tita.
All in favor? Opposed?
17 ayes.
G 24918.
G 24918, resolution authorizing the purchase and installation of nursing unit doors and casings Van Rensselaer Manor, introduced by legislators Grant, Testman, Sullivan, Tita.
All in favor? Opposed?
17 ayes.
G 25018.
G 25018, resolution authorizing contracts for highway equipment rental without operator highway department, introduced by legislators Leverage, Grant, Sullivan, Tita, Harrington, Bailey, and Fleming.
All in favor? Opposed?
17 ayes.
G 25118.
G 25118, resolution authorizing the purchase of vaccine for the prevention of influenza, Department of Health, introduced by legislators Bendet, Casal, and Doran.
All in favor? Opposed?
17 ayes.
G 25218.
G 25218, resolution amending contract amount for the Comprehensive Printer Management Services Bureau of Research and Information Services, introduced by legislators Leverage, Grant, Sullivan, Tita, Stammel, and Grimm.
All in favor? Opposed?
17 ayes.
G 25318.
G 25318, resolution amending the contract with Chazen Companies for construction management services for the reconstruction of the GRIP collection and treatment system, Rensselaer County Sewer District Number 1, introduced by legislators Leverage, Grant, Sullivan, Tita, Harrington, Bailey, and Fleming.
All in favor? Opposed?
17 ayes.
G 25418.
G 25418, resolution authorizing a contract for professional painting services, Sewer District Number 1, introduced by legislators Leverage, Grant, Sullivan, Tita, Harrington, Bailey, and Fleming.
All in favor? Opposed?
17 ayes.
G 25518.
G 25518, resolution amending agreements for construction of GRIP collection and treatment projects, Sewer District Number 1, introduced by legislators Leverage, Grant, Sullivan, Tita, Harrington, Bailey, and Fleming.
All in favor? Opposed?
17 ayes.
Yep.
3 noes. 14-3.
G 25718.
G 25618.
Oh, 256, okay, I'm sorry.
We all wanted to get over.
Turning that page.
Resolution authorizing a change order for the Emergency Communication System Bureau of Public Safety, introduced by legislators Testman, Grant, and Manning.
All those in favor? Opposed?
17 ayes.
G 25718.
G 25718, resolution authorizing the removal and relocation of Emergency Communications System Equipment Bureau of Public Safety, introduced by legislators Testman, Grant, and Manning.
All those in favor? Opposed?
17 ayes.
G 25818.
G 25818, resolution authorizing a contract for the purchase of meat and meat byproducts, Department of Aging and Sheriff's Department, Bureau of Central Services, introduced by legislators Leverage, Grant, Sullivan, Tita, Stammel, and Grimm.
All those in favor? Opposed?
17 ayes.
G 25918.
G 25918, resolution authorizing a contract for the purchase of dairy products and eggs, Department of Aging, Sheriff's Department, and Van Rensselaer Manor Home and Bureau of Central Services, introduced by legislators Leverage, Grant, Sullivan, Tita, Harrington, Bailey, and Fleming.
All those in favor? Opposed?
17 ayes.
G 26018.
G 26018, resolution authorizing a contract for Chevrolet and Chrysler and Dodge parts, and repairs for auto maintenance, Highway Department, SOAR District, and Bureau of Central Services, introduced by legislators Leverage, Grant, Sullivan, Tita, Harrington, Bailey, and Fleming.
All those in favor? Opposed?
17 ayes.
G26118.
G26118, resolution authorizing a contract for automotive collision repairs and auto maintenance, Highway Department and SOAR District, Bureau of Central Services, introduced by legislators Leverage, Grant, Sullivan, Tita, Harrington, Bailey, and Fleming.
All those in favor? Opposed?
17 ayes.
G26218.
G26218, resolution adopting and accepting the revised Rensselaer County Purchasing Procedures, Bureau of Central Services, introduced by legislators Leverage, Grant, Sullivan, Tita, Stammel, and Grimm.
All those in favor? Those opposed?
17 ayes.
G26318.
G26318, resolution authorizing the purchase of a replacement truck, Buildings Department, introduced by legislators Harrington, Bailey, and Fleming.
All those in favor? Opposed?
17 ayes.
G26418.
G26418, resolution authorizing an agreement to retain Harris Beach PLLC to represent Rensselaer County in various matters arising from the collective bargaining agreement with the various labor unions representing Rensselaer County employees and amending the 2018 Rensselaer County adopted budget, Bureau of Human Resources, introduced by legislators Wysocki, Patiri, and Burns.
All those in favor? Opposed?
17 ayes.
G26518.
G26518, resolution amending the 2017 and 2018 Rensselaer County adopted budget. Public defender, conflict defender, and county attorney, introduced by legislators Tessman, Grant, and Manning.
All those in favor? Opposed?
17 ayes.
G26618.
G26618, resolution authorizing contract with Maximus Consulting Services, Inc., Bureau of Finance, introduced by legislators Leverage, Grant, Sullivan, Tita, Stammel, and Grimm.
All those in favor? Opposed?
16 ayes, 1 abstention, Mr. Grant.
G26718.
G26718, resolution authorizing the monthly monitoring services for the global positioning system and amending the 2018 Rensselaer County adopted budget, Bureau of Central Services, introduced by legislators Leverage, Grant, Sullivan, Tita, Stammel, and Grimm.
All those in favor? Opposed?
17 ayes.
G26818.
G26818, resolution authorizing the extension of a term of a grant agreement with the New York State Office of Indigent Legal Services and amending the 2017 and 2018 Rensselaer County adopted budget, public defender, conflict defender, and county attorney, introduced by legislators Tessman, Grant, and Manning.
All those in favor? Opposed?
17 ayes.
G26918.
G26918, resolution authorizing the purchase of one commercial-grade riding lawnmower for SOAR District Number 1, introduced by legislators Leverage, Grant, Sullivan, Tita, Harrington, Bailey, and Fleming.
All those in favor? Opposed?
17 ayes.
G27018.
G27018, resolution authorizing the purchase of office furniture, SOAR District Number 1, introduced by legislators Harrington, Bailey, and Fleming.
All those in favor? Opposed?
17 ayes.
And that's it?
P27118,
Oh, I don't have it on this one, okay.
resolution adjourning the May 2018 Rensselaer County Legislative Meeting in memory of Irene Haggerty, introduced by legislators Harrington and the entire legislative body.
All those in favor? Opposed?
17 ayes. And we have one more from special rules.
That's right.
G27218, resolution authorizing the repair of a roadside mowing tractor, Highway Department, introduced by Chairman Stammel.
All those in favor? Opposed?
17 ayes.
The good of the body. Anything? I would like to take this opportunity to congratulate and wish our legislator, Jake Ashby, in his new endeavors. And, you know, I know you'll serve the county well. I appreciate the time that you've served here on this legislative body, and you're all proud. That's all we can ask. Would you like to say anything? Thank you. Okay, we appreciate it. How about a round of applause for Mr. Is there a motion to adjourn? Motion made and seconded. Thank you, everybody. That's right.